In today's tutorial, we're learning how to make this cool 3D pop-out effect in Canva in just a few minutes. And it really gives that extra life to your designs. Now we're starting all the way from scratch, so we're generating the image as well as making the design. Now I've split up this tutorial into two parts. First, we'll make the images, and then secondly, we will create the design. And if you want to save some time while making designs in Canva, I also have templates available that you can download via the link in the description below, and they will save you a lot of time and effort in your next designs. And we're starting in the Canva app. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the Dreamlab tab on the left, which is in the latest update of Canva. This will bring you to the Dreamlab tab, and here you can see your previously generated images. You can see this car is from a previous tutorial, so if you want to have a look at that one, I have linked it in the description below. Now for this case, we're going to add a new prompt, and we want to have a tiger leaping towards the camera in a jungle environment. Then we're going to choose for the style, so we can do either cinematic, smart, creative. There's a lot of options. I'm going to choose a different one, and let's go for a 3D render. For the aspect ratio, I want to go for a 16:9, so we can use it in a regular presentation or poster design. And then we press create and let Canva do its work. And this will instantly give us 4 different variants that we can use, and they already look quite nice. So you can click on them to expand them and see them full screen. This one looks quite cool as well. There is a bit of a strange thing happening with the tail, so you don't always need to use them, but you can always modify it. This one, I think the action pose is very impressive. And also this one, the leaping forward, is quite good. If you don't like the results, you can always just add the prompt, so reuse the prompt. You can modify it if you want, or you can just press create again to get a different rework. So in this case, it has made some variations. You can do that a few more times. You have the credits here at the top, so we have 400 or 500 per month, and they reset each month with the Canva Pro license. And then once you have generated a few of the images, you can choose the one that you like most. I think personally I'll go for this one. I like the angle and the dynamic touch to the element, so I'm going to use it in design. You can also download it and add it to your design if you want. This brings us to a new design, and the first thing we want to do is we want to duplicate the page, and on the second one select the image and click background remover. And this removes the background from the tiger, and then we have 2 options. So now we want to add the TV screen. So for that I'm going to create a new page, go to elements, and here look for TV screen. We want to go to photos, and maybe we type in a living room to narrow it down. We don't want just a frame, we want a living room TV. If you want, you can always narrow it down further if you want a specific style, for example, green if you want more green tints, and that will give you the solution that you want. I think this one's quite cool, so I'm going to add it to the slide, put it in the corner, and expand it so that it covers the entire slide. Now we're going to close this tab, and maybe increase it just a bit more so we have more room on top of the TV. So you can always scale it down by just a bit and then place it right there. Now we're going to copy the tiger, the full picture, and we're going to paste it on top of the living room picture, that is. Now we want to scale it down and position it in the corner of the TV. I'm going to add some transparency so we can easily see where the border of the TV comes. You can make it a bit more transparent. And now we want to increase the tiger so it sort of leaps out. We can see the paw, the head, part of the back is all outside of the screen, and that's what we want. Once it's positioned correctly, you can turn on the transparency. And now we're going to copy that transparent image. So grab that tiger, paste it on top. And now of course we want to reduce it in size as well. It's easy to match with that border. There you go. And then you can adjust it. You can look at the ears, for example, and then just match it up with the previous image. I like to reduce the cut for this one, so the transparent part, so that I can easily select the tiger in the background. And for this one, I want to match the corners, or match the crop size or the crop marks with the corner of the TV. So on the bottom and also on the top. And that gives us this result, which is currently looking a bit weird. But if we now adjust the crop mark for the other one, we can see that the tiger is jumping out of the screen, and it really gives that cool 3D effect. Now, if you want to add that extra touch, you can do it. You can select the cropped image or the no background image, go to edit, and then add some shadow. go for a drop shadow, and this will create a drop shadow on the image. Let's put it to the side. And now we want to change the angle so that it sort of falls on the wall. I think that will have the most impressive effect. Blur amount, you can increase it or decrease it. I'm going to keep that one pretty low, so on 25, let's say. Distance doesn't have to be too far, but you can play around with the settings if you want. And now we're going to try to match that image, because if you add a drop shadow, it will reduce in size. We can just increase it in size until it matches again. The easiest thing to do is look at one of the points, for example, the tail here, position it nicely, grab one of the corners, and increase it so the paws start matching. And then just position it correctly. You can always use the arrow key. If you just select the shape and then press the arrow keys to fine-tune it a bit. There we go. I think we're almost there, maybe a bit larger. And then use the arrow key to nudge it in the right position. And this gives us that really cool shadow effect on the image. Now let's say you want to add some text or content for a graphic design or a poster. You can also do that by adding some cool elements. So we're going to press R to add a rectangle on the screen, put it in the corner, drag it to the side, go to colors, and give it a nice gradient color. The dark one, scroll up, click on colors again, and choose a linear color code. We want to swap them around so that the bottom is the darkest, and on the top color you can make it black as well, and then we give it full transparency. That way we create less focus on the surroundings and more on the tiger itself. If we then go to position, layers, and we drag it underneath the tigers, that gives us some room to put some text in a nice way. So add text, title, for example, 3D experience. We can nicely increase that in size. And if we now put it at the bottom, it's a lot more readable and it's not so distracting with all the elements and shapes. So if you remove that, it's very hard to read the text. And if you increase it in size, it becomes more and more readable. Select it again, go to effects, and maybe we add some effect to it. It could be either hollow, shadow, doesn't really impact it too much, I think, or the neon effect, that might be cool. Increase it entirely, and let's see if we can find one of the colors from the tiger. That is quite nice. And now let's preview that on full screen. And this is how you can make this really cool 3D effect of a tiger jumping out of your screen in Canva in just a few minutes. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to learn more about Canva, make sure to drop a follow and watch the video on the screen right now.